Are they like us though and have like no counter space whatsoever because they've already got too much shit?
Kinda.
'Cause that's like the only thing that like has stopped me. Because one of the thing I want for us is an air fryer.
Yeah.
Period. I think it's gonna make the nuggies better and faster.
Yeah.
The fries easier. We can probably do a bunch of veggie stuff in that. We gotta get the air fryer.
But you just don't know where to fucking put it.
Where would we put the fucking air fryer?
We could probably get rid of the Foreman, honestly. We haven't used it in a hot minute.
I mean, that's been like a hot dog machine for the longest time.
Yeah.
What up, Zeke?
What's your opinion, bro, between air fryer and rice cooker?
I mean, we probably could use both, but I feel like we need the air fryer first, because I feel like we're in the Stone Age without an air fryer. Everybody's got one now, but us. Even my mom got one.
But those go through trends. Like, everyone had the Foreman before that.
True.
Everyone had the fucking magic. Did you ever have the magic bullet?
No, I was no. Magic bullet, but I did get it on the Foreman. I actually bought it really expensive. Like the first time I bought a Foreman, I got a really expensive one. It was like a $300 max fucking digital Foreman with all the removable plates and everything. Yeah. And like, I had that Foreman forever, dude. But George Foreman is a legit piece of fucking kitchen hardware. It's a legitimate grill for inside of your house that's electric. It's genuinely good.
My mom had a magic bullet, and it basically just got relegated to being a coffee bean grinder.
That's why I didn't end up getting one, because I had a coffee grinder, and I knew you could use that as like a spice grinder or a chopper if you needed to. But I don't know, man. I always felt like that was a big cheat, like using a chopper thing. Yeah. Just get out the knife. Knife work. Paul needed to get that fat out of his meat.
Oh, yeah. With the Foreman, because it was supposed to have the little
tray. It drips, yeah. It did drip out some of that fat. I don't know, man. It depends on the homophobe gauge. Like, sometimes it's just like trolling or they're not there to listen. But like, I try to engage in conversation every time that I can. Because I find that more often than not, even if we don't agree, right? Maybe I planted a seed on it. Maybe they'll remember me down the line, or remember what I said down the line, you know? That's about the best you can do when it comes to changing a human mind. If you think you're gonna just like manipulate or argue somebody into submission, it just doesn't work that way. The kind of hypocrisy of humans is that we need to think that we came to it of our own volition, even if we didn't. It's like an ego-driven reason to be correct. And so sometimes you plant that seed and then you let that person come to their own kind of thought about it, and by the time they own it, they're ready to profess it. They're not going to thank you for it, but you're not there for the thanks, right?
Well, it makes sense from an evolutionary perspective. You don't want a bunch of uncertain people running around like, am I doing it wrong?
No, not at all. Yeah, not at all. No, it's a very psychology is like a cheat code. I tell people this, and I'm not even like claiming to be some big slick kind of like social manipulator or whatever, but the things that you can infer about people from simple psychological tactics is pretty fucking amazing. And how you can lead a conversation without, like, you can lead a conversation from behind. In fact, that's oftentimes the best way. Like, they teach that in management classes and stuff. Is that pontificating is the best way to get people to tune you out. Conversation is the best way to get people to tune you in. So I don't know, man. I've never had any fucking luck yelling and screaming at somebody to change their mind on some political issue or whatever. It's just never happened in my life. But I have had people change their mind slowly, closer to what I believe over time. And I'm not even saying because of me, maybe because of me and a bunch of other factors, you know? That's the best you can do, man. You can't reach into somebody's brain and squash the stupid out of it.
Like I said, humanity wouldn't have gotten off the ground if everyone was, like, open-minded.
No.
You gotta have a little determination to keep going.
It's true.
We didn't need no philosophers in the beginning.
Yeah. Jocko Willnick says that if a manager has to yell at his team, he's already lost control of the situation or the business. Yeah. No, you never ever scream at people in business. It's just like, especially if you're like supposed to be a manager, a team lead, or a boss, or whatever the fuck, right? It is a sign of somebody who has lost control, and people immediately listen to you less closely. And that can be extrapolated out to, you know, it's a reason why I've kind of changed my tact recently. I'm not above yelling and screaming if I'm passionate about something, but I just try and engage people in conversation. It tends to be a little disarming, I find, on both ends. I might be mad at what you said, but after asking you a calm, clarifying question and engaging with what you said, I find that both of us kind of don't know what to do, and that's better than getting mad, right? Where you going, D?
I'm watching you. Hey, don't you go around that corner. Come here. Your little GPS tracker is a couple days away.
Yeah.
And then you can go around the corner. Till then. I'm gonna make some tea. You want some tea?
No, I could do a big water, though.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind. That would be fucking delectable. Big old agua. Water truly is the drink of the gods. Paul, why are you hating on the Zoomies when they mostly children? I know you're right there, haven't done anything, but mostly kids, no. Well, I also hate on the millennials. They didn't do nothing either. But yeah, no, not all Zoomers are fucking 10, dude. In fact, most Zoomies are like trending towards late teens, early 20s now. It's time to fucking jump on the horse and get to work. I'm sure he hates part of Gen X too. Oh yeah, I got one foot in Gen X, one foot in the millennial generation. I mean, the Gen Xers are the most hard-headed fucking people. They know what's what, and they really don't like changing their minds, man. Gen Xers are very, very like traditionally hard-headed people. And I definitely have a streak of that in me. Any advice on how to handle homophobes who use insults and slurs? Insults and slurs are meant to be conversation stoppers. So if you keep the conversation going, or at the very least attempt to, it puts the ball in their court. I think it's probably smart for you to inculcate yourself against those types of things. Harden up a little bit, you know. Don't allow people to hurt you with words, or at the very least, don't let them fast forward straight to hurt. Paul, I had a shit day at work. I'm sorry, Mr. Naughty Priest. I'm sorry to hear that, bud. That's shit. My work day's still going. I did a long stream this morning. I did 2 pre-recorded episodes of DFF for our patrons. Just finished those up. Those will come out over the next couple weeks, and then I'm doing this. So my work day continues. Oh shit, you got that Zona?
Yeah, I forgot I'd grab these. They're actually still 99 cents. These ones are even on sale. This one was 89 cents.
89-cent tall Arnold Palmer.
Yeah. Well, I think I know how they kept the prices the same. They did switch out sugar with high fructose corn syrup, so I had to get the diet one of it. But
Shitty.
whatever.
All gives me good hug vibes. Oh yeah, dude. I smell like the woodlands, and I give a good warm hug, you know.
I wouldn't describe your smell as the woodlands.
What is it then?
I don't know. It's pleasant. It's like inviting.
Inviting.
I don't know. I don't know why other people told you that you were stinky. You're not a stinky person. Even if you are
Dude.
musky, you got a good musk.
A peaty, earthy smell. Dude, the Arnold Palmer is the best Arizona by a country mile. Half lemonade, half fucking iced tea. It's the shit.
Maybe I'll get you some next time.
Yeah, I love a fucking Arnold Palmer.
Or I can get you a diet, one of these if you
Yeah.
want a diet.
I'm down with that.
You want me to get it?
What?
This for you?
No, you don't have to run out and get a fucking tea from here anyway.
Okay. I mean, there's another one in the fridge if you want it, is what I'm saying.
Oh, you got 2?
Yeah.
No, I got a big ice water here.
Okay.
I'll have it later. Arnold Palmer plus vodka or whiskey is, yeah, they both go pretty well in an Arnold Palmer, honestly. To mix in quite a bit of different alcoholic spirits. I don't like those fruity Arizona teas. I don't like the mango. I like the straight up Arizona sweet tea and the Arnold Palmer. Those are the 2. Those are the goats, okay?
I don't think I can mix whiskey into this though, because I'm triggered by like a Long Island iced tea. Was the last time I got real sick drunk, so.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
God, I shudder to think how much money I wasted in my 20s on top shelf Long Islands, man. That was the hot thing to order at a bar, because the idea was you got the most of the best liquor per drink. But it was just a ticket to really bad decisions and
Well, it's just too easily sippable. Like
Oh,
other
yeah. Well,
cocktails, you can mask it, but like a mojito, like that you still taste the alcohol.
Yeah.
You're not gonna chug it like a big iced tea.
No, I like a mojito. I like to sip on it because it's all refreshing. It's got them little mint leaves all crushed up in it. Love that.
But you get a Long Island iced tea, you want to chug it because it just tastes like iced tea.
Yeah, it's so fucking dangerous. I think Paul smells like deli meat. Maybe. Sometimes, I don't know. Pimento loaf or something, maybe? If you're gonna get drunk as cheap as possible. That's my rule. Yeah, that's a smarter rule than I had, although it's not always the best thing to do. Getting rot gut means like a horrible next day a lot of the time. Ever had a dark and stormy? Nah. I haven't really done it. Like, I'm a pretty simple guy. I like to drink a White Russian. I like to drink a Midori Sour. If I'm feeling real fruity, I'll just drink. I can endlessly drink Midori Sours, bro. That, to me, is like one of the best drinks for your buck because it's just so refreshing and light, and you can just pound them. I kind of want a Midori Sour now.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Maybe we'll go out to the bar one of these nights. We haven't had a bar thing since Vegas.
True. Yeah, I'm not a big bar guy, but I'm not above going to a bar. Find one that's got some fucking
Some nice-
jalapeno poppers and
Yep.
some fucking beer and some Way Down Yonder on the Chattahoochee on the jukebox. I can get with that. I always hated the taste of alcohol, plus I'm scared of getting drunk. And it ain't for you, probably. One of my friends like Fireball. Oh my god, Fireball is awful. Fireball is like the worst decision that you'll ever make, bro. I've had so many nights on Fireball and Goldschlager, bro. Ugh. Talk about a fucking hangover, bro. Talk about a sick day the next day. You better call in if you're gonna have a Fireball night, man. That shit is fucked.
I mean, I didn't mind it, but it was also my third drink that night at that meetup, because you, like, pushed someone offering you a Fireball shot onto me because you didn't want it.
It's like, well, I know better. Yeah. I know that like, I've never, like, taken a shot of Fireball and been like, that was a solid decision right there.
That was already 2 drinks in, and I was just like, fuck it, I'll take your...
Everybody's different. Fireball for me is a no-go.
That was my third and last drink. It wasn't like I was chugging Fireball all night.
Right. No, I'm a pretty fucking... I like... If I'm gonna do a mixed drink, I'll do a Long Island. I'll do... You know, I don't really like shooters a whole lot. Those little shooter drinks, I'd rather not. I like something I can sip. Some ice in it. They say that vodka is what you want if you want to avoid hangover. That's actually not true, but...
It's bullshit. I've had many whiskey night and not gotten hungover because I did it smart. I knew my limit. I stayed hydrated. That's all you gotta fucking do.
This right here will cure any hangover, right? You have a hard drink at night before you go to bed, okay? You get a big glass of water and you force yourself to chug that whole motherfucker.
I mean, ideally you would do 1 drink of alcohol, 1 drink of water throughout the night.
Right, but if you don't, and most people don't, then right before you fucking go to bed, you chug water. Because all a hangover is dehydration. It's 100% it. That's the key. I just saved your life, okay? You never have to have a hangover ever again. Now, there are certain alcohols that may be different. For example, there's like high tannin cheap wines. Cheap wine is notorious, okay? So you can drink a bunch of water after drinking a big handle of cheap wine all night and still wake up feeling like shit the next day. Tannins are a different fucking thing, man. I mean, I have a thing. I don't tell other people to do it because people say it's not the best thing to do on alcohol, but pop a couple fucking ibuprofen and drink. Get a little blood thinner up in you, get a little water up in you, go to sleep. Is Scotty still mad at you? I don't think so, no. We've been chill ever since. We just did 2 shows together today.
If he was still mad at you, I feel like he's acting real weird about it.
No, I mean, you guys don't understand, man. If you had friends for a long time, you get in a fight like that. If you've known each other a long time, it's pretty fucking routine for that to be water under the bridge. We're 2 hot-headed dudes. We got brolic with each other because we were stressed out. Mm-hmm. But we're friends, and we made up at the end and apologized like men do, and that was that, you know?
Yeah, it's not like you were bickering about some ongoing thing.
No.
It was like an incident.
Yeah, no, it was just one fucking thing led to another, and pretty soon we were yelling at each other like a couple of fucking idiots. Just the way it works, man. But the crying as well. I mean, that's just me, man. I'm old now. I'm soft as fuck now, man. I used to yell and scream in people's face like that and just eat that pain. Now it just comes bubbling out of me because I'm not that type of person, man. I hate having to be that way with a person. I really do. I do not like angry Paul. I don't like mad Paul. And he's in there, you know. But I'm an old guy now, man. I feel like I've got a handle on it, maybe. For the most part. You You know, he flares up here, he flares up there, but I'm nowhere near like the slave to my temper that I was in my 20s and 30s.
Yeah, like we had our first actual raising our voice fight ever after years and years of being together.
Yeah. What did you guys fight about? I don't even know, man. Scotty was talking over me. I made a snide comment about it. He took offense. He threatened to beat my ass. I don't like it when people say they're going to beat my ass. I'd rather they just come do it. I told them to come do it. It escalated. That was it. Do you know what poltergeist means? It's actually two demons' names joined together. It also means cannibal, which is Cain and Abel put together also. That sounds like some fucking TikTok wisdom.
Yeah.
That needs a I think we need a fact checker in the house. Both of those sound spurious to me.
You know what the dumbest like fake linguist meme was?
What?
News being like new events, whether it's sports. It's like, no.
People are stupid, man.
Yeah.
Geist is German for ghost. Yes, it is. I actually had a friend with the last name Geist. That's such a cool last name. Maybe I'll change my name to Paul Geist. God, that's a cool last name. Well, I don't want to pull all my accolades out there, but I took the Myers-Briggs test, and according to them, I'm an INFJ. That's not an accolade, though. That's a weird management tool.
Yeah, like, that doesn't mean shit, bro. You took a personality test, and it said you had a personality.
Yeah.
It's like a fancy horoscope, ultimately.
Yeah. True enough. Anyone ever call you Paul Porky growing up? No. Nobody ever thought of it. A little fat kid running around with the last name Parky. Nobody ever thought to swap out that A for an O, man. How lucky am I? Of course they called me Porky. You fucking kidding me, bro? You seem chill. I am pretty chill. I like to think of myself as pretty chill. Some people would disagree, though. I'm chill with a little bit of edge. But I like to be chill more often than not. You drinking codeine, Paul? No, I don't fuck around with that. You kids today are fucking around with, you playing with fire with that shit, man. I don't fuck around with that. I smoke weed and that's it, man. That's my shit. You seem like a very different Paul than I last saw in Ideology. Those dark streams kind of pushed me away, but you seem different now. That's good. Yeah, man. Well, I was very depressed. I mean, this is always going to be like a fucking reflection of me. You know, how I'm feeling on the inside is going to come out of me on the outside, so.
Yeah, a rough few years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had a rough life, man. I'm not trying to bitch about it, but I've had a fucking tough life. I've been through some shit, man. But I feel like I'm old enough that I can pilot the body right, and I can pilot the mind a little better. And that's a good thing, right? Getting on CPAP was like a new lease on life for me. It was like, it just shaved like 10 years off of me. TJ gonna do a vertical stream? I don't know. I'm shutting up about it, man. I've done brought it up 3 fucking separate occasions now. I was like, TJ, just turn on your phone and do a fucking 20-minute stream and see. That's it, though. I ain't gonna say it no more. He knows best. It's his fucking channel, bro. I'm gonna keep doing these, though, because I like it. You look a decade younger. Oh, maybe I do. Where you at? I live in California, sunny Cali. Sunny Central Valley. Paul, have you ever seen the show Atheist Experience? Yeah, that's what's his name? Matt Dillahunty, yeah. It's an old meme. Best left-wing movie?
I feel like any movie that's explicitly left-wing is maybe a bit over the top.
Yeah, man, like
simplified.
political film and stuff, like people where it's just like message. I don't really tend to think of movies. I think movies, even movies that have a political bent, I like to think of them as apolitical in their existence. Like, I don't think of movies through a political lens. Movies are an escape for me from politics. That's not to say that I can't, see the parallels, and obviously there's a lot of politics creep into film. But yeah, man, I that's not how I first attack things, and I don't categorize movies by their leftist credential or whatever.
Any movie that's like beating you over the head with their political slang.
Yeah, I usually will not finish a movie like that. Like, if I just feel like I'm being fucking preached at or whatever, no matter what the preaching is, I don't like that. I'm here to be entertained and informed in that order. And if you can't meet that bar, then I don't really have a whole lot of time for your film. Tell us about your first heartbreak. I don't know, man. It all just kind of depends, right? Like, how real do you think a little like thinking you're in love with somebody when you're 13 is? Would you say that finding out that's not going to work would be your first heartbreak, or would it be your first high school fling, or?
I mean,
like, where does it start?
I think the 13-year-old thing is valid as a heartbreak.
So my cousin then.
Yeah.
Yeah, my cousin, not by marriage, okay, but not by blood. My cousin Angie, yeah, broke my heart. She was older than me. I was 12, and she was 13. And she took me behind the shed at my aunt's house and gave me my first tongue kiss. And then a couple months later, we went to Disneyland. And in the back seat of the car on the way home, there was a little fucking double diddling going on, okay? And I thought I was in love, man. I had a little picture of her that I got. I put it in a little heart thing. And I would tell everybody I was in love with her, and blah, 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 blah. I believed it. I don't know if it was true or not, but yeah. And then when I figured out that she didn't want me, she basically just, like, after we fooled around in the car, it was like weeks. She never said anything about it, right? And then so I finally, like, we were walking around the neighborhood, and I asked her, I was like, Angie, I was like, it's like, what happened in the car and stuff? And she just shut it down. She was like, I don't want to talk about that anymore. And I was like, okay. And after that, she just stopped, like, even wanting to be around me. So I think maybe she felt bad about it. Maybe she felt guilty about what we'd done.
Yeah. Or
maybe she was embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
That's a thing that I've always struggled with in my life. I feel like that there have been people that, like, wanted to be with me because of my personality, but were, especially when I was younger, but were, like, turned off by the fact that I was, like, a fat kid. Because I feel like that, like, I've got a really, like, warm and inviting personality that people are attracted to, but I feel like, especially in, like, high school, when everything's about, like, perception and looks and all of that, did she initiate? Oh, yeah, fully. I didn't even know what I was doing, man. Not really. I mean, I'd fooled around with people before, but not like that. Not, like, explicitly like that.
Well, I mean, earlier this morning you're talking about how you were held against a tree and diddled.
Yeah, I mean, that was just fucking, like, that wasn't, like, diddling. That wasn't, like, this was, like, secretive and went on for, like, an hour or two.
I see.
And there was, like, digital penetration and hand jobbiness, and there was stuff going on underneath there, That was, like, definitely my first foray.
I mean, but you had something similar to that, but just with objects before that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I fooled around, like, when I was really, really fucking young with people, but never, like, like, this was, like, I was pubescent.
Yeah. You had a goal.
There was an intent there, even if I didn't understand what it was. It just wasn't there. Would you have stepped in the pie for her? I probably would have done anything she told me to do, dude. I was enchanted. She was so, like, my type of chick, too. She was very, like, well, at least at that time, She was very like androgynous, almost kind of like masculine, but still feminine, obviously, you know, still a presented female, but had like a more masculine air to her. She played sports. She was like in softball and stuff. Paul almost nailed his cousin, but that's how I'm going to remember this story. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Trust me, you're not going to say anything worse than my family already gave me shit for that, and still does from time to time, okay? Like, I fucking...
And that might be why she broke it off.
Maybe so, yeah. I mean, it... Like I said, we weren't, like, cousins by blood or anything.
But it still has that,
yeah.
you know, weirdness.
It's still like, oh yeah, this is my cousin / boyfriend. I don't think that works out in the modern age.
Outside of Alabama.
Were you on Drunken Peasants podcast? Yes, I was. I'm Paul's Ego. Hi, nice to see you. A lot of people are finding me now that haven't seen me since those days. I'm still here. I'm still alive.
I was gonna say before that happened that cousin marriage is legal in California.
Oh yeah. It would have been completely legal for us to get married.
I mean, like, even blood cousin marriage
really?
is legal in California.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have tried that, probably. You seem sweet. I guess. Where are you, California? That's what's up. I knew I wasn't tripping. Much love from 2014 me. Hey. You made it.
Jesus Christ, it's 10 years ago.
I know. I've been doing this, like, that's just the thing, man. Like, I've been living the dream for way longer than 90% of fucking content creators out there. There are people out there that are way more successful than me, but there are very, very few people that can credibly say they've been doing it as long as I have. And making their fucking soul bread living on it as well.
Because, yeah, it seems like a lot of the uber successful people now are, like, lining themselves up for burning out in a couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
Just from the sheer amount of shit they do.
I mean, just look at, like, the last 10 years of YouTube, and there's some names that I could name that are just gone now that were, like, the top of the heap. Niga Higa, Ray William Johnson. I mean, these guys struggle to get any views now. Mm-hmm. I mean, they still, like, I think RWJ still does stuff. I think Niga Higa moved on and does other stuff, but, like, I'm just saying, Tobuscus, right? He just, like, what was it, Shane Dawson. I mean, these people were at one point, like, considered to be the #1 YouTubers on the planet, and now they're just, like, burnt. And during the time that they became popular and burnt out, I was here. Doing it. You know, still doing it. Tobuscus was kind of screwed over. A few of them were. Sometimes they burn out of their own volition, and sometimes they're pushed out. But, you know, that sort of, like, huge celebrity, especially, like, on the internet, comes with a price. And some people are able and willing to pay it, and some just can't. Some don't even know it exists.
Yeah, you get stalkers, you get fucking...
Bro, I'm like what I would call like a mid-tier fucking internet person, right? Low mid-tier. And I've been stalked. I've had people fucking come to my house, take pictures of my house. I've had people fucking dox my phone numbers. I've had people fucking tell me what my address is in the middle of chats. Creepy fucking shit, bro, that people are just like, and then you extrapolate that out, right? You take it from
someone that has 10 million
right.
subs, and yeah, it's all
it just time. It starts to become fucking crazy, bro. But I know one thing, and I'll share you the best piece of content fucking advice that I can give you, bro. I can't help you in any other way than this. Never apologize. Ever. Don't do a cringe fucking apology video. It is the beginning of the end. It's the death knell. If you say something stupid, say, hey, I said something fucking stupid. I recant it. Move on. Don't go like, hey guys, it's Paul's ego here. Hope everyone's feeling okay. I'm not doing okay, as you may have heard all over Twitter. Don't do this. Don't just stop. Stop the impulse, and just go like, don't grab the ukulele is what I'm saying. Don't start writing a toxic gossip train song. Don't do it. Okay? If you say something stupid, own up to it, and then just fucking ignore anybody else. You're a human being. Human beings say dumb shit. So just disavow. Just be like, hey, I said that gay people should all be, tagged or some shit, and I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it. Sounded like a scarlet letter / thing, and I didn't want it to be that way, so that was stupid. Obviously, I don't think that. Anyway, moving on. And then you don't fucking talk about it. You don't do another video about it. You don't allow the fucking pressure to make you do a fucking cringe thing, because that's what they want. Like so many people that are involved in these cancellation campaigns when somebody says something off color or stupid, right? They don't care. They weren't personally hurt at all by that person popping off in the mouth and saying something dumb. They just want to watch the trash fire, bro. They just want to watch somebody that's making good money burn their whole career. That's good. I've watched it. It's good entertainment, bros. I watched literally Shane Dawson take a fucking $10 million a year career and flush it down the commode like it was just a turd. Hey guys, I did some bad things in the past. Shut up.
Like, TJ had the perfect response to this banana video.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I put a banana up my ass, and I'm going to do it again, too. And if you don't like it, fuck off.
Oh, the J.K. Rowling realization of it is gold.
Yeah.
That fucking intersection of fucking...
Harry Potter's creator knows about the ass banana. The fucking world is complete. Logan Paul and PewDiePie survived apology videos. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying, like, look, there are outliers in it, but you want my advice? You're not PewDiePie, and you're not Logan Paul.
Logan Paul has evolved a lot. He's not the same creator.
No, both of these guys are driven by something else, and that's really what makes a fucking YouTuber. Yeah. I'm driven by something inside of me that is not like most people. If I don't talk to people, I shrink. Physically shrink away. Okay? And I'm driven by that need to communicate how I feel on the inside with people. That's why I've been doing this for 10 years, and I'll probably be doing it another 20 unless I fucking keel over dead from the stress of it. I don't have any, I have no worries about my continued marketability as a podcaster or a vlogger or some shit. There are any number of avenues that are wide the fuck open to me. But I'm built different. It's not even necessarily a good thing. It's a fucking pathological need for human interaction that I cannot fulfill in other ways. And I managed to spin that into things that people want to watch. If you don't have that, PewDiePie has that. Logan Paul, love him, hate him, whatever, he's got that. He's never down. He's always up. You have to know how to do that. If you don't have that drive in you, if you're just going to like shrink away from the possibility of failure, then don't even start it. PewDiePie did a lot of change, so have I. People change. You have to evolve as a content creator. If you think you're going to be Skibbity Toilet and get 1 million views and then that's all you got to do for the rest of your life is another Skibbity Toilet, Skibbity Toilet already fallen off, bros. I guarantee you the creator of Skibbity Toilet is on to some new things. He's probably got some development deals and shit. He's not sitting on it just going like, I'm just going to do Skibbity Toilet. You know, I mean, you could say what you want about me. I've been doing it over a decade, dude. Name me 10 people that can say the same. I'll wait. Name me 10 people that have been vlogging for a decade as their main source of income and are still going strong. There's not 10 of them. There aren't 10 of them. There's 5 or 6 of us. My homie said, Jay, there ain't many of us. I said, less is more, neighbor. There's plenty of us. Okay, hubris. I mean, I'm just telling, like, look, dude, so many people want to do this for a living, and I'm being real with you in a way that other content creators, I'm not fluffing you, right? I'm not telling you, like, you can do anything. The first step is to just do it. I know it sounds weird, but that's all you have to do. That's a lie. If you're not driven, if you don't have that hunger in your belly for whatever it is, approval, acceptance, communication, if you don't have that fire, that kind of entrepreneurial drive, that like, I want to make something, you're never going to do it.
It's not a get-rich-quick
scheme. No, it's not a get-rich-ever scheme. I will likely never be a rich man doing what I do. Ever. If I do, I'll be one of the lucky few. So I'm not trying to have hubris. I'm not trying to brag or flex or any of that shit. I'm trying to be real with a group of people that probably a lot of you out there have this in the back of your mind. Like, I want to do that. I want to have a channel. I want to have a podcast. I want to do that. I want to do this. Dude, I hear it all the fucking time. It's a constant stream of people asking. And I don't lead them down the fucking gumdrop highway. I show them the cold, logical facts of it. Even if you have all those things I listed, the drive, the determination, that pathological need inside of you to get out there and be seen and be heard and to make, even if you have all of that in spades, you still don't make it. You know how many people have all those things checked off and they get fucking 10 views a video and they've been doing it for 2 years and they're giving up? There's something about it, man. You got to be right place, right time. You got to know the right people. You got to get in early if you can, and you got to stick with it despite every fucking impulse in your body that tells you to run screaming from it. If you can't do that, you can't do this. And that's what holds back most people. It's not talent. It's not you can learn how to talk to people.
There's not some magic bullet either, because the algorithm's constantly evolving.
Yeah, yes. Thoughts on Pride Month? I mean, whatever. I like the Pride demonstrations and stuff, but this whole, like, here's the month you care about thing, it just doesn't make any sense. How about Pride Year? How about Pride Eternity? How about that? How about every goddamn day is Pride Day? How about out of the closets into the streets forever? How about that?
It got so commercialized. Like, there's floats and shit at these
I can't fucking hate it, though, because it's like, that's part of how you get mass acceptance. The corporate structure fucking folds you in. That's how it works. So I can't hate on it too much, but I'm just not a guy that's going to get giddy because it's Rainbow Month.
I just mean, like, the companies that just put a fucking rainbow banner on and don't do shit besides that.
Of course, that's all that, but see, that still is meaningful.
Yeah.
That's a giant institution that people recognize going, we like queers. Yeah. Even if they don't. I don't know. buddy boy. I just don't fucking, I don't know. I'm not trying to poo-poo it. Like I said, I like the pride demonstrations and stuff, especially the ones that remain true to that kind of fulsome spirit of like, this is not about making you comfortable. It's not about your comfortability. Every other fucking day is about your comfortability. Today is about me being me. Mm-hmm. I like that. I think that needs to keep happening. The corporate end of it, the youth outreach end of it, the fucking Pride Month shit, and the flying the flag thing, all of that stuff is like, to me, I don't like performative stuff like that. It's not my style. But I definitely don't begrudge the existence of pride and all that. Still a Kanye fan despite his anti-Semitic comments? Yeah. I separate art from artist always.
Yeah, especially in that genre of music, they're assholes.
Yeah, hip-hop. You can't be a fucking lifelong hip-hop head and be, like, politically unable to listen to people who disagree with you. It's kind of like comes one-on-one.
Yeah. The truth is, a lot of artists are fucking dicks.
I don't like LGBTQ. Why not, bud? Do you think it's messing up your life in any way that people sleep with whoever they want, consenting adults and all that? I'm not trying to be dick. I'm actually asking the question. How do you? When's the last time a gay person made your life worse? Like affected your bottom line, affected your housing situation. You spread AIDS. Everybody spreads AIDS, buddy. Are you in the 1980s still? AIDS is not a gay disease. It's an everybody disease. So yeah, you spread AIDS too. If you spread your legs, you spread AIDS. That's the way it works. Sorry to fucking fill you in on that. I'll ban these 80s morons. No, I'm not gonna ban them. They got a right to be stupid. It's cool.
Yeah, like the Red Cross has changed their donation rules now. So, like, rather than just blanket banning gay men from donating blood, they're saying anyone who has multiple partners shouldn't be donating blood because...
Yeah. That's the way it works. No, actually, straight people are immune, Paul. Oh, I didn't hear that. I hadn't heard that before. That's crazy. What's your favorite Arcade Fire album? It's one of those fucking weird names. Yaralika or something like that. It's the one with Neighbors on it, or Neighborhood on it. Favorite strain these days? Don't really have one, buddy. I mean, my go-to is like Blue Dream or whatever, but I smoke whatever. I support everyone, but the constant talking about it is low-key annoying, feels forced. I mean, okay. I mean, I can get that, honestly. Like, the culture war is wearisome and tiresome, bro. Especially if you've been fucking, like, following it and participating in it as long as I have. I mean, for every bit that you hate it and are tired of having to do it and talk about it all the time, times that by like at least 10 for me, bro. I've been doing this stupid fucking left foot, right foot culture war shit forever. That's why I don't like make that the central part of my political advocacy and my being. You know, I'm a passionate supporter of all marginalized peoples, but I don't think that the LGBTQ community is the only thing that we need to be talking about. And I oftentimes think that centering that in your political sphere to the detriment of everything else actually pushes people away that otherwise might listen to you. And I don't see any value in doing that, any value at all. In inflaming an already fucking out of control culture war argument It just doesn't seem like your ass is not for a cock. I mean, speak for yourself, bro. Speak for yourself. Maybe your ass isn't. Mine can take one just fine. I'm not sure Kanye wasn't having mental breakdown. Yeah, he definitely was. Kanye's a manic depressive or bipolar 2 or whatever the fuck they're calling it these days. Yeah. Kanye West is a profoundly sick individual, and he was surrounded by a bunch of yes men who told him it was a great idea for him to go off his meds constantly. And, not to blame them, because ultimately he's the one that made the decision to go off his meds, and he did, and he said some really stupid, regrettable shit.
And it was like after Kim K left him that he started going real deep into that rabbit hole too.
Yeah.
Not that she should have left.
No, yeah, she was right to leave probably, but like
that exacerbated it.
I'm a guy that tries to find the good in people, right? And so what I say about Kanye is, I've had my heart broken. I've been left by somebody that I thought was the love of my life, that I'd be with forever. It's happened to me multiple times in my life, okay? And you are not well, even if you're a well-adjusted person during those times. You think some sick, twisted shit. You lash out at the world in various ways. And most people don't have a camera stuffed in their face every second of every day while they're going through that horrible shit. And Kanye did. Okay? So, not to excuse the things that he said, I don't make excuses for any words that come out of anybody's mouth. Other than my own. I'll excuse my own words. I'll give you my fucking reasoning for my own words. But as far as like me caring all that much what Kanye said, especially during a time in his life that was just like his whole world was ending, and knowing he struggles with bipolar disorder and maybe another a number of other disorders, that makes me feel like people maybe spend a little bit too much time talking about it. Maybe they moralize a little too much. I wonder if a lot of those people that shit on Kanye and judge Kanye, I wonder how we would all feel about them if they had a camera on them in their fucking lowest point. We'd hear all the things that they said when they thought they weren't being listened to, or when they were out in public and shit. I wonder how many of those people would change their tune. See, I try and practice radical empathy, and I've always been this way, even if I don't show it. I think people take it as weakness, but I try and practice that radical empathy, radical empathetic approach. Of course, while making sure to obviously note that I'm not making excuses for bad behavior.
Well, it's just writing off anyone as evil or wrong as like a definition is pointless.
Yeah.
There's value in trying to understand why people do what they do. That's wrong.
Yeah. Shout me out, please. What are you guys gonna do with these shout outs, yo? Can I ask you guys like why the shout outs? I don't mind doing it. I'll say your fucking names, but I don't understand what is it though, because we're not. This is not like the Super Bowl. There's 177 people watching an old stoner ramble about his life. So you want to shout out in that little microcosm or whatever? How about this? Shout outs everybody that's here. How about that? Shout outs everybody here. Big ups everybody here. How about that? Get a haircut? No thanks.
You did. Used to be down to your waist.
Yeah, my hair used to be down to like almost to my ass, to the bottom of my ass cheeks. So I did get a fucking pretty radical haircut, man. Say our names. No. How do you feel about conservatorships? A necessary institution that is ripe for fucking abuse. There are some people who need family members to take a sober eye and control them from destroying themselves financially. I do think that there needs to be a facility for that. However, I think it's oftentimes used by families to gain control over funds that they otherwise would be separate from. I don't necessarily make the call. The way that people were lionizing Britney Spears when she came out and was able to get out of her conservatorship or whatever the fuck, right? I really had a problem with that because Britney is a profoundly sick woman. People want to forget that. People want to act like the only reason she had any problems because her mean ass dad wouldn't give her her money. Now, the reason her mean ass dad has all her money is because she's not stable.
Now he abused that position of
Yes.
authority.
Yeah, he abused the position of authority to profit for himself off of her career and exclude her. But, you know, that
There was some basis. It
Right.
wasn't like just he had enough money to hire enough lawyers.
this
and it
whole
just
like free
magically
Britney
happened.
thing, Britney can't be free. Britney cannot be alone. And when if she is out there by herself right now with nobody looking out for her, it's not going to be fucking long before, you know, there's another story about Britney Spears having a fucking meltdown in public, stripping naked. She's got major problems, guys. Yeah, thanks to the specters. You know what? I'm not even gonna ask her. There we go. I'm just making sure I sprinkle enough mods out here. I feel like they're getting overworked these last few days because there's just the skibbities that come in, you know?
Specterhood isn't an obligation, but
No, you don't ever have to do anything with it, Nuggy, but I trust you to ban people, so go ahead and do it if you feel like it. Otherwise, just enjoy your new blue name and your wrench. You don't gotta do shit with it, Nugget.
where are you going, baby?
I'm gonna turn on the...
Okay.
Get ahead of the darkness.
Yeah. Should we just put the umbrella down? I feel like it's catching the wind and wibble wobble in your phone.
Yeah, I'll just fucking roll it down here.
Yeah.
I think it'll still probably catch the wind, but
It
nowhere
won't
near as
as
bad.
bad, yeah. It's just wibbly wobble in your thing too much, I think. There we go.
It's down. Why do blue hairs want to block people? I don't know, man. Why do they? SJW, Paul. Man, the spammers are hot and heavy tonight, man. It's all good, guys. I think this is probably the same guy that's back with another batch.
Yeah.
We did like a mass ban of a dude that just kept coming back and back and back, and then it's been a few days, and I think he's got a new batch he's ready to burn.
Yeah. He started out as like a triad.
It's Brett.
He had 3 different devices going on at once. It was like real sad.
Yeah. Ultimate Mewing Master Sigma Chad Rizzler Army. Bro, sometimes getting out there in the algorithm is a good thing, and sometimes it's a real bad thing. Oh, man.
Well, you're in the shorts algorithm now. This isn't
Dude.
even just the algorithm. This is the shorts.
This is like
algorithm.
content creator Vietnam right here. Okay, I'm in the shit. I'm in the deep, dark shit with the man in the black pajamas sneaking around the goddamn jungle, bro. I've got trench foot. I've got jock itch. I don't think I'm ever going to see my mama ever again. And all I've got is my M16 and a couple of fucking mags, bro, and that's it. I'm in the trenches right now, bro. With the skibbities and the spammers and the fucking crazy shit. And I'm actually kind of loving it. I kind of thrive in this environment, honestly. The more chaos, the better. Where do you live? I live in California, my friend. Sigma Chad Pearl. That's me, buddy. Skibbity, skibbity.
I wonder if YouTube tried to push the TikTok ban because it's such a competitor with them.
Oh, yeah, I mean, probably. Will Vosh apologize if Biden loses? No. How about just will Vosh apologize? No. I don't really think he's got anything to apologize for, unless you think being stupid is an offense that requires being apologized to.
Yeah. He did a context video, not an apology.
A context video? Oh yeah, when with the goblin short stacks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Context.
How wrong I was only underscores how ultimately right I am. Well, give me wisdom and strength for these dark times. Fuck, man. What do I know about wisdom and strength? I can't give you any. I got nothing. I got nothing. Smoke weed every day. I don't know. There you go.
Oh, is the zipper busted on this?
It's fine. I'm just using it up as fast as I can and rolling it.
Well, I just
up when
don't
I'm
want it to
using
blow over and just spill shake everywhere.
That would be a fucking epic. Goddamn. Maybe it'll make a shake tornado, though. Oh, here. I'll put it under something or whatever the fuck. Stack it up under here. The cost of living in California unlivable for people who make less than $50K a year? No. People that make any level of income can live in California. It's just that most of them don't want to live in the areas that they can live in. When people come to California, a lot of times they want to be on the beach with a fucking palm tree and a Mai Tai or something. They have this like beach mentality. But the places that are really livable and affordable in California are all inland or up in the foothills or in the mountains and stuff. So if you're willing to move inland and not really be all that close to the beach.
Because, like, the city we're in now is actually pretty close to the average cost of living in the United States.
Yeah. And that's true of a lot of places in California. There's even a lot of places in California that are under the cost of living. Depending on what you're willing to do and where you're willing to live and where you're willing to move and all of that stuff. Yeah, no. So yeah, you can come to California if you want. I tell people, like, anybody can live here. It's like this idea that the media throws out that California is this unlivable shithole is just completely wrong.
They just don't let the rich don't like the taxes they have to pay here.
Exactly. They don't want more people here because that means a bigger tax base. It means a bigger needs base. They don't want to have to pay more taxes. But that's the way it works in California, so.
Got all this cool shit, we gotta pay for it somehow.
Although the taxes in California are really crazy as people say they are. They're crazier than some other states, yeah, but
You can get more shit.
you get more for your money here. California, I mean, say what you want about it, has better social programs than 99% of other states. Has a wider availability in critical social programs than any state. So, you know, Bakersfield says otherwise. Even in Bakersfield, women have access to fucking prenatal care that's free. There are clinics. There are low-income housing projects all over Bakersfield. Section 8. California has a really, really robust social safety net that is not present.
Yeah, homeless people don't just come here for the weather.
No. That is one of the reasons why they do, though. The mild temperature, especially in coastal areas. I mean, you be homeless in a fucking sweltering hot fucking 120-degree shithole or a freezing cold fucking snow pile.
Although, we are in the 120-degree shithole for part of the year.
I mean, yeah, we live in the desert in California, so. Is the gravity different in California? No. No, not at all, I don't think. Pretty much the same.
You know what hasn't been talked about in a while?
What?
The mega quake. I feel like that was a big deal like 10 years ago.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I'm a believer in the mega quake.
Yeah.
Learn to swim. See you down in Arizona Bay.
Yeah.
Down. Fret for your latte, and fret for your dog, and fret for your car, and fret for your bullshit.
When I lived up further north, there was like the mega volcano.
Yeah, that's another one too that's coming.
Yeah.
And the meteor.
Yeah.
And the caldera. And the tsunami.
Mm-hmm.
The giant sea quake that makes a big wave. That's coming too. Yeah, dude. Buy some fucking future oceanfront property there in Arizona. You prefer coffee or tea? I like them both. They're both different things for me.
Mm-hmm. You haven't been drinking much tea though lately. I feel like every time I offer you now, you never want it.
Yeah, I haven't been on a tea kick lately. I've been more a daily kind of cup of coffee, and that's where I just have to be careful because like those caffeinated teas are stronger sometimes for me than a cup of coffee.
Yeah, but I mean, like you turn down the herbal teas too.
Yeah. I don't know. Black coffee, yeah, I mean, I usually will drink my coffee black. I mean, maybe not usually, but I do like it that way. Especially if it's good coffee.
I just do the cream mostly to like cut down the acidity a little bit.
Best coffee? Alright, so I make a little bit of extra money, and so I go a little fancy with it. I buy this brand. You might have seen it, but probably not at a normal store. It's called Folgers. It's this like French brand. It comes in this really cool bespoke red tub. And it's pre-ground and everything for you too, which is awesome. So yeah, Folgers. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. There's Folgers Original, and then there's Folgers Decaf. Yeah, Folgers. Well, no I in that. It's just ERS. It's a weird French word. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
We actually tried their instant coffee recently because we were in a hotel for a while. And
Wasn't bad.
yeah, it's alright. Better than the little pods that they give you in the hotel.
Yeah, I don't like those. I like Folgers, but I'm a picky guy. I'm an upper crusty coffee drinker, you know. Folgers, you've had that? Liar. Most people can't even afford it, bro. It's so expensive. It's like $12.50 a tub. Something like that. It's fucking crazy.
You're actually pretty dead on for not having bought Folgers
I know.
for a while.
I know coffee. Trust me, I told you, I'm a fucking connoisseur. Since you're a coffee snob, can you explain the difference between pre-ground and grinding your own beans at home? Yeah. Pre-ground is way easier and quicker. Grinding your own beans at home is for cucks and losers. Why would you do what the Folgers does for you? No, actually, if you're a big I used to work at Starbucks for a long time, so I know a lot of coffee.
Back when Starbucks was snobby.
Yeah,
Just
back when Starbucks actually was about snobby coffee and not milkshakes and donuts and stuff. And yeah, no. So if you are a person who likes to have fresh coffee beans, there's a special kind of bag called an aerated bag that you need to have your coffee purchased in. You'll notice it as a little plastic disc in the coffee. It allows some of the off gases to escape and keeps the coffee fresh and freeze packed. Once you've opened the coffee, you're going to need to fully seal it and store it in a clean, dry place. Cool. Not super hot, not super cold, just cool, in a cabinet. A lot of people put it in the freezer. This does not extend the life of your coffee. This freezer burns your coffee and destroys the flavor. Kills the oils in the coffee. You don't want to do that if you've got really nice coffee. The reason that people grind coffee at home is because fresh ground coffee, especially if you're paying extra for a really good Arabica bean, is always going to taste better than freeze-dried, pre-ground coffee. There you go. So many spammers today. So many Mike. So many Mike. Nope, don't put it in the fridge. Fridge is too cold. It can cause the natural oils, especially on a good Arabica bean, which the oils is where the flavors are. That double roast, so you pop the bean twice on an Arabica bean if you're roasting it properly. So you'd never do a cinnamon roast on an Arabica bean. You always pop the bean twice. That means you're releasing all of that inner oil from the central core of the bean. And if you put it in the fridge and that oil solidifies, you get an unbalanced cup of coffee. There's a big difference between leaving it on the counter or in the cupboard. No, not really, as long as you're not getting direct sunlight on it, because heat can fuck it up. Heat can cause the gases to release quicker. And those gases are basically like the timer. That's why you have a little off gas valve on Arabica beans, or you should. I know that Starbucks uses an off gas valve. They actually had a proprietary one that people had to pay them a bunch of money to use. But it allows a little bit of that gas to slip out so it doesn't build up and pop your bag, and it doesn't escape too quickly. Heat cooks it off, yeah. Heat causes the gases to come out quicker.
I mean, you wouldn't want to leave it on your counter if, like, you have your AC set to, like, 85 in the summer or something. You'd probably want to make sure it's in a cabinet.
No, I mean, it's probably... Yeah, I mean, if it's super hot or it's in direct sunlight on your counter, that's bad. So that's why I always tell people, just put it in a dry cabinet. Put it in your spice cabinet. Keep it good and sealed in there. Keep it whole. And don't grind it until you need it. You grind as you go. They do make coffee makers that you put whole beans in, and they have a little drawer that tells you exactly how much to put in for how many cups, and you load it up and it grinds them and presses the coffee out. They're a little more expensive, but you can also get a French press, which is really the best way to make coffee if you're a big fucking hoity-toity nose in the air snob, you know. If you really think you're going to be sipping on that coffee and enjoying the complex flavors or whatever the fuck, then a French press is unbeatable. A paper filter absorbs those aforementioned oils, and a lot of that flavor ends up getting thrown in the trash. A French press, there's no separation between the oil and the water. There's no agent with which to absorb any of that oil or extract it from the bean. So you get that full flavor. Now, French press is like actually my preferred way of drinking like really good coffee. But just a Mr. Coffee maker, if you're just going to do like I do now.
Yeah. It's just a caffeine delivery system for the most part.
I think Folgers honestly pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
You put a little fucking coffee creamer in it, it's not going to knock your socks off, but it's not gross. I just don't need to be spending $20-$30 a fucking pound, which is what it used to be when I worked at Starbucks. The higher end coffees, I imagine they're probably more now. It's probably closer to 20 or 30 bucks on the low end, and maybe 40 bucks a pound for some of their higher end, like Sumatra and Sulawesi. Those were the two, like, oh my god, so good, but really expensive.
You gotta have some room in your weed budget. Sacrifice your coffee budget for the weed budget.
I'm down for Folgers. Keep me in Folgers and I'm a happy guy. Sumatra is way pricey nowadays. Fuck off. I know. Yeah. No, all the Arabica beans have like doubled in price over the last 10 years that I haven't been working at Starbucks. It's been longer than that now. It's been closer to 12 or 13.
Well, that's kind of a good thing. Maybe it's a little bit less child labory. Still probably a little pretty child labory though.
Yeah. I'm working there now. It's actually not a bad fucking it's not a bad job, yo. Like I mean, I guess now it would be different. But back when I worked there, bro, it was actually a good job. I worked there 8 years. I started as a barista, worked my way up to an assistant store manager, and I was getting paid bank, bro. I was making good money. And I thought it was a pretty fucking chill job because I knew every fucking thing to do there. Why is it so dark? Because it's nighttime? I'm backlit? Which Starbucks drink is your favorite? I get a chai tea latte with 1 pump of raspberry syrup, although they don't have raspberry syrup anymore, so I'm fucked.
And they run out of chai a lot too.
Yeah, a lot of places do. People love the chai. I don't blame them. I love a chai tea latte. It's like my go-to if I pull through a Starbucks on a road trip. I get an iced venti chai tea latte, 1 pump raspberry. They don't have raspberry, which usually 9 times out of 10 they don't. Then, fuck it, just give me the chai, I guess.
Oh, they don't have the chai mix then.
They don't have the chai mix. I'll probably just get a cold brew or something.
Yeah.
Something basic. But yeah, I don't go to Starbucks other than when I'm on a road trip, so.
Yeah. And even then, last time we went, you didn't even have any Starbucks. We just used their bathroom and left.
I just needed a piss, yeah. Well, do you fuck with Guinness? I do like a stout, and I like Guinness, but it's not my favorite stout. Like, my favorite stout of all time was Rasputin Chocolate Stout. It's like a California brewery, I think, that makes it. It's fucking insanely dense, rich. It's almost like you have to chew it. But I like all kinds of beers, man. I'm kind of a beer snob. But I'm also like a real easy drinker too. Like I'll just drink a Bud Light all night too. But
I just don't drink that much.
I don't.
Period
Well,
anymore.
back when I was a drinker, I guess that's better to say. Now I don't know. I don't even really crave alcohol at all. So every once in a blue moon, I like to tie one on. Like I think the last time I got drunk, I'm trying to think. When was it? Was it for a show or something?
I mean, you got pretty toasty at that meetup in Vegas.
Yeah, alright, fair enough. Yeah, I had a few drinks there. So that's probably the last time I was, like, proper drunk. I love some margaritas. Oh, yeah, man. Margaritas are great. Blended, of course. Gotta get the frosty margarita. I love craft beers, too. I love breweries. I love going to like microbreweries and trying their beer flights and stuff. I'm a big sipper. I remember rewatching an old vid of yours drinking a beer. I used to drink Newcastle Brown Ale a lot.
Then they changed ownership in Newcastle. And
Yeah,
it's
and
not
they
the same.
suck, dude. They're gross now. It's that they lost that, and people fucking from England will tell you the same thing. They changed ownership, they changed the recipe, they cheaped out on something. I don't know what exactly they changed about the fucking process, but Newcastle does not taste good anymore. It's a waste of money. But back in like the early 2000s, dude, Newcastle is my go-to, bro. I get a fucking 12er of Newcastle. They were expensive as fuck back then too. I remember I used to pay like 15 or 16 bucks for a 12er, which back then was like, oh, you can get 2 12ers of fucking Bud Light for that, but nah.
Yeah. I mean, usually when I buy beer for the house, I get the Modelo Negras or whatever.
Those are pretty good now. I mean, for now, like if I'm having beers now, typically it's like at a barbecue situation. I want to have a Corona or a Bud Light or something. I'm an easy drinker when it comes to that. If I'm gonna suck down a couple beers, I'm not a foo about it.
I like a Stella. I'll get Stella sometimes.
Stella, yeah, Stella's drinkable. I like a Heineken. Heineken is drinkable. I find that there's very few beers that I'm like turned off of.
Yeah.
I won't grab one. Coors is one of those. I just can't fucking stand Coors. Pabst Blue Ribbon. I will not grab a Pabst.
No Natty Light.
Natty Light or Hams. I usually fucking stay away from those types of like old timey, shitty, fucking low quality malt liquory beers. No, thank you. But like any old fucking like Michelob or fucking whatever. I'm not picky. Bud Light. Coors is the only one I stay away because the Coors is just Panther piss, bro. Blue Moons, yeah, those are ones. I like a Blue Moon. I like all the different like hoity-toity types of beer, like the unfiltered wheat beers and the IPAs and the fucking chocolate stouts and the barley wines and those types of fucking. I like it all, man. I think beer is just really good. What does mead taste like? Sweet, alcoholic goodness, I guess. It tastes like honey usually. The meads I've had have almost, I think I've had it 5 or 6 times in my life, and I've had nothing but honey meads. So I can't really speak out of turn other than that. And they're very sweet. They're very sweet and very refreshing and very alcoholic. You can make mead out of other things, I'm pretty sure, other mashes, but yeah, honey mead is the one that you get. Most often, I think, or at least in my experience. I like ciders as well, yeah, I like hard ciders, I've had those before. I guess I don't like these things anymore. I keep saying I like, but I'm not a drinker anymore. I think part of me is like stuck back in my 20s a little bit, you know?
I think you might have had like one cocktail when we went to that fucking outdoor restaurant in Pismo, maybe?
No.
No?
You had one.
Oh, I had. You didn't have one.
Yeah, we dropped mushrooms later though, so I did my part.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you went and got whatever it was, the salty sailor thing.
Yeah, and then I just had a shot of liquor because it was so weak.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck it.
Yeah, I just got whatever, a pink lemonade or a fucking Coke or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Well, I'd sit down and have a beer with you on me. Cool. All right, I'll take you up on that.
Oh no, it was when I was out of town that you had some beers with someone that came over.
Zeke.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zeke came over and we killed a 6er.
Yeah.
We killed a 6-pack of Coronas, I think. And we just sat out here on the back porch, smoked weed, and drank a 6er. It was nice.
So that's the last time you drink.
But, I mean, that's not for me.
Yeah, that's
3
not,
Coronas is not, I didn't even really get a head change off of that.
Yeah.
So, it's not even really drinking. Not to the level that I consider to be, like, drinking. Like, the last time I think I was, like, really drunk was at the meetup.
Yeah.
But I'd had 5 of those fucking super strong mixed drinks, and then somebody else brought me another one. So, and people kept just giving me fucking ones here, there, and everywhere, and I was sipping on yours, I was sipping on TJ's, and I was sipping on this, sipping on that, so I was pretty good.
You didn't sip on any of mine. Mine were mine. I got whiskey sours, and you don't like whiskey sours.
That's true. But yeah, no, I definitely, like, that's the last time I probably would say that I tied one on and got good and drunk. Fucking with any video games or even tabletop games, oh yeah, man, I constantly play video games. I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima right now.
We don't have a table to tabletop game.
No. You really don't, man. I really don't have a place where that would be feasible or fun.
That's one piece of furniture that we just refuse to get for some reason as a dining room table.
I feel like you get a dining room table when you're moved in.
Yeah.
And you're ready to buy a house and you're fucking owning a house.
Yeah.
Till then, why you got a dining room table? Because you might take it to the next house. You got a little kitchen nook. Now it doesn't fit. Yeah. I gotta get a whole new dining room table. Fuck that, bro.
And we got our little coffee table.
Yeah. I got a coffee table that lifts up so that when you're sitting on the couch, you've got a table in front of you so you can eat and watch TV. Fuck that. like, look, dude, if I had little fucking rugrats running around, I'd probably do like the traditional, let's get at the table, everybody turn off your phone, let's have a meal and talk like a family. But my wife and I talk all day.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need a special day, meal time. We talk during our fucking meals anyway.
Yeah.
Did you ever take an interest in physics? Nah, not really. I was more of like a biological science interest guy. Like I would have wanted to be like the first thing I ever would tell people I wanted to be was a marine biologist. Like I wanted to study the ocean and the creatures that lived in it. But yeah, the more math-based stuff like physics, that's just way out of my wheelhouse, bro.
I sucked at physics too, even though I wasn't bad at math in general. I don't have that kind of like thinking. You gotta think a certain way for physics, I think.
Maybe so. I never got that far, so I can't really speak on it.
We had us do a little physics early, like freshman fucking science class. They had us do some physics.
I mean, yeah, I did like life science and biological science and blah, and they would have you do some physics experiments. So it's not like I never did physics, but I never took a physics class, and I don't think I ever would. Oh yeah, I love marine life documentaries and stuff. I love watching just nature documentaries and shit.
Although that last one we watched was a little weird.
We watched, what was that? I can't even
Like
remember what it was called.
History of Life or something.
Yeah, it was definitely like two shitty ones, to like two shitty projects to do a nature documentary, sandwiched, and neither one of them sellable. They sandwiched them together and then hired Morgan Freeman.
So it was supposed to be like the history of how life evolved, but like they would just jarringly cut from like animated prehistoric shit and modern shit.
The animated prehistoric shit wasn't great either, so
Yeah.
I can tell that's probably why it got shelved. And then it was just so, like, for a show that was billing itself about, like, here's how life evolved and the different forms life took leading up to the modern day. It spent, like, probably, like, a good 75% of its time in the modern day.
Yeah.
So it clearly was, like, two different documentaries that were unsellable. They smashed them together in one project and hired Morgan Freeman to read a script and add a little gravitas to it. And for what it's worth, we watched it all, but...
We were disappointed.
Yeah, for sure. It was kind of a shitty.
We didn't get
show.
enough dinosaur. We didn't get enough fucking cave bear or whatever we wanted.
It felt like two half-finished shit documentaries that got thrown into one. Life on Our Planet? No, it's not that one. I've seen that one. This one is just called, like, The History of Life or something. It is on Netflix.
Look up Morgan Freeman
Yeah,
on Netflix.
Morgan
You'll
Freeman.
find it.
Yeah, you'll find it.
I mean, some of the stuff was fun, like those weird little mammal ancestors just living life up.
I just wanted more of that.
Yeah.
I wanted it to either be all that or all a modern nature documentary with a little bit of, like, here's what the old birds looked like, but here's what they are now. Like, I wanted them to pick a lane, and they wanted to ride two lanes, and it just sucked. Did you ever see that prehistoric Attenborough series? No. See Your Life of Cats on Netflix was good. I have not seen.
I don't know. I feel like you know the secret life of cats pretty well already.
Yeah. Thoughts on Buddhism? I don't know if I'm really all that fucking... Like, I've done a lot of reading on Buddhism, and I'm very attracted to the idea of some sort of religious ritual for my life, and I think that Buddhism probably fits me. I love meditation. I love the concepts of Zen Buddhism that I've learned. I love listening to koans. I love the idea of letting go of my worry and myself and existing in a place of peace. You know, I just feel like I'm kind of on a journey and I haven't landed anywhere yet. But, you know, I do feel like Buddhism may be part of my future. You know, I do feel like a drive to have some sort of ritualistic adherence in my life. And especially one if it's healthy as well. Like, it's based on me doing yoga poses and meditations and stuff, that all of those things really feed me well, like feed my mind.
I think, yeah, you just have this barrier of, like, you being a hard-ass atheist for so long.
Yeah. Do you think reincarnation could exist? No, not really, but I think it's an interesting framework for morality on the planet. So the wheel of samsara is what you're talking about. In Buddhism and Zen Buddhist tradition, it's talking about, like, the wheel of life continuously turning, right? And how you are in this life affects your position in the next. So if you're a shitty person in this life, you come back as a worm and you live a whole fucking 3 or 4 cycles as a worm, and then you get to be a cricket, and then you get to, you know what I mean? But if you're good in this life, you get another shot at being a human. I like that as an idea. Do I believe that that's the case? No, it doesn't even really make sense. There are new souls being created. Where are those reincarnated souls coming from? But from what I understand, Buddhism doesn't require you to adhere to the more fantastical or religious aspects of it. Especially the style of Zen Buddhism that I'm studying, slowly but surely.
And, like, I don't even know if that many, like, Christians even believe everything the Bible says. They like the community of it. They like...
I don't really want the community. I want something that's a personal adherence that is only me.
No, I was just, like,
Yeah.
contrasting it. Like, a lot of Christians, I think, probably stick with it just because that's how they grew up and their friends are there and shit like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I find Buddhism to be pretty fucking calming and interesting. I don't know. I wouldn't consider myself all that well versed in it, but I have been practicing meditation on and off for a very long time, and I've gotten better at it slowly but surely over my life. And that's really, like, if you listen to kind of more modern Buddhist philosophers, a lot of them say that it is the practice of meditation that's central to Buddhism, central to Zen. All of the other stuff are vehicles and teachings by which you can reach that state of Zen Buddhism. But really, it's about the practice of mindfulness and meditation. I don't use an app. I didn't learn to use somebody's asking, which meditation app? I don't use an app. I didn't learn on an app. When I need to meditate, I can do it anywhere I'm at. I can sit in this chair here and listen to the wind and meditate. I can sit alone in the darkness of my room, laying down, sitting up. I can meditate myself to sleep.
That's such a sad reflection on our world. Which app do you use for meditation?
I know. It's pretty bad, man.
I mean, if it helps you, go for it, but it's just a sad reflection on the world.
Yeah. I like the idea of the kind of more religious aspects in Buddhism. I like the wheel of karma. I like dharma and karma as opposing forces. But a lot of those are stepping outside of the Zen Buddhist tradition as well. So, you know, as far as how I'm following it, meditation-based Zen Buddhism is what I shoot for. That's where I think I fit. Because as much as I might want something to look towards and say, oh, that's in charge, that's the reason behind all of the chaos, I don't believe in that thing because I've never seen it, I've never met it, I've never seen any evidence of it. Zen Buddhism doesn't presuppose it. There's no God in Buddhism. Do you like Hinduism? I think it's an interesting religion. I don't think it would work for me. I think the idea of not existing after you die is naive. Okay. I mean, I guess I could probably say the same thing. I think thinking there's some special place that we all go to, that our souls, this unmeasurable, unquantifiable thing, all go to be in paradise forever, is equally fucking asinine, right?
Well, the fun thing about it is no one will ever know. Because anyone that knows is dead and can't come back.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. At least for now.
Yeah.
We can't resurrect the dead yet. I have a feeling that is in our future. Maybe not full dead resurrection, but the idea of an AI mapping someone's brain and personality to the point where...
But that still wouldn't give you the answer of what happens after death, because it would just be a construct of before they died.
True. Exactly. Yeah, I guess you got a point there.
And even if you, like, revive a dead brain, that still doesn't tell you what happened when it was dead.
Yeah, but it could describe the process, right?
Yeah. But
like
even
if
then,
you were able to bring back a living person, or take a dead brain, preserve it, use some futuristic technology to bring that person back, they're clinically dead. They could answer questions. If there's something after their death, after their physical body died, if they experienced some shit over that period of time, they could tell you.
But the belief is that it happens outside of the body, so whatever would happen outside of the body would be
Exactly, but
brain.
that belief is based on the idea of a spirit man.
Yeah.
So you've got a physical body and a spirit man inside of you. This is common across all the Abrahamic faiths and most of the non-Abrahamics, right? Spirit man inside of you.
So you're saying that by reanimating, if there is a spirit, it would go
if
back
that person
in.
is back and going like, holy fuck, what happened?
Yeah.
And it's you, then your spirit must have been sucked back into the body.
Yeah.
Or it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? But that's really the only way that I could see it happening, is like all these people that like did the whole bet on cryogenics.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably going to come a time where those people might be able to be revived in a meaningful way. And if they can, they will be the first people to credibly say they can answer that question.
Yeah. Because the near-death experience, that's different.
No, it is. Your brain is flooded with DMT at the moment of death. So even if you get close to it, one of the ways that your brain deals with death is it floods your brain with this massive, massive dose of DMT. And you are tripping balls. So of course you're going to see shit. Right? But there's no continuity between these near-death experiences. No real one anyway.
And like, if you were at the point of easy revival, then you're not dead, I don't think.
Yeah. Paul, what's your favorite song from And Justice for All? I don't know, bro. That's a really weird, apropos of nothing question.
We're talking about fucking religion. And
yeah, we're talking about
death.
like deep esoteric shit, and you're trying to bring me to a fucking album that I haven't listened to in fucking 20 years, bro. I don't know. I don't know, buddy. I don't know. I think basically, like, when Paul dies, everything that Paul ever knew would die alongside Paul, except for Nothingness, which is Paul, but also not Paul. Sorry if that's too woo-woo. I mean, I won't downplay it and call it woo-woo, but I don't think I fully understand it either. But that's kind of the point, right? The idea of there being some sort of soul separate from our body that goes on living after this body dies is kind of silly. It's kind of a silly assumption.
It's pretty windy out today.
It is windy.
I'm trying to put it under this.
Thank you.
There we go.
I've always been drawn to ritual. I've always begrudged religious people their rituals because I think it seems so calming and so potent. And so, you know, I'm at an age now where, you know, I can have ritual without religion. And I want some sort of established thing. I want something that I can learn. Yeah, I want something I can learn. I want something I can sink my teeth into and get a deeper understanding of. What's your take on paganism? I don't know, man.
That's a broad category.
Yeah, and it really is all-encompassing. I think I like it. I think the idea of deifying different forces of nature is kind of attractive to me. And I think that a lot of, like, paganism was very tongue-in-cheek. I think that this idea that the Greeks and Romans all believed that there was a real Zeus, I really don't think that's the truth. I think that these people were very intelligent people, and I think that these religious rituals were an expression of the human need for ritual and allegory. And so the idea of embodying the ocean with a deity as you're standing on the shore and watching a storm roll in, watching those waves pound in, intellectually you can know that's just a weather system coming, that's a storm. But inside, it can feel very powerful and connective to think that's a person out there, or a god out there, but in my image.
Yeah.
And this storm is some sort of retribution that he's wreaking, or some sort of war that he's fighting down below the waves. It gives you this very succinct and meaningful way of looking at nature. And I'm a dude, I stand in awe of nature, bro. I could just sit and look at a sunset. I could sit and listen to the ocean for fucking 10 hours straight and be fine.
It was also a way to tell their history. Like, a lot of what we know about Greek history is interwoven in these, like, mythological tales.
Yep. And those tales, oftentimes the sources of these gods and goddesses and godlings, they were the same kind of like cultural tales that we tell each other in modern society. It's like
the myth of the Columbus.
Right. But think about what it means, though. It's the hero's journey, right? It's perseverance wins the day. It's bravery beats cowardice. It's all of
cleverness.
Cleverness. Fighting with your head is better than fighting with your sword arm. You know, a pen is the stroke of a pen is mightier than the stroke of a sword. I mean, those sorts of kind of like golden rule centralized philosophy that you see all throughout history, by the way. This kind of idea that people should be decent to one another and fair to one another is not a new thing. If you know the expanse of human historical fucking religiosity, you know that those things have driven human beings since human beings called themselves human beings and before. The gods are watching, right? I can see that. I can feel that in my heart. It's a way of keeping yourself in check. It's a way of reminding yourself that there's something larger than you out there, right? Something bigger. Something that doesn't share your humanity and doesn't have a fucking heart. It doesn't care for you the way that you may care for it. And it will take you. It will destroy you. Look at how many people died young back in the day.
Yeah.
How many sailors went out to sea and just never came back?
And their gods weren't benevolent. They were
vengeful and petty and ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah. So that feels comforting. It's like, oh, it's that fucking asshole up there that fucking did it.
Zeus, he's unknowable, and his wrath is well known. And the fact that he had to take those fucking sailors to the deep with a lightning bolt.
He's just a dick.
He's a bastard, but god damn it, we have to worship him.
Yeah.
We have to give him his due and proper. You know, that's something that it gives you something. You know, think about a life that gets snuffed out at 30 years old. And that's kind of like old for a lot of human history. You're starting to get up there in years if you're 30 and you're kicking still, right? And you want to have some sort of meaning to that life, and you want to ascribe some sort of epic story to it. What's better? Paul went out fishing and a wave knocked his boat over and a shark ate him, or Paul went out fishing and great Triton shook his hoary locks and a great tidal wave consumed the boat and Paul was taken to the bottom of the sea. You know? It ennobles a human life. This is what religion was about long before it was about congregating in some building. Religion was about telling the story of a human life, giving it meaning in a universe that quite frankly is meaningless. That is our blessing and curse as a species. We're a species, the only species that we know of, really, that even has a concept of meaning. All other animals that we know of, some to varying degrees, of course, live in the state of nature. When do I eat next? When do I sleep next? How do I poop and be safe at the same time? These are the things that occupy 99.9% of life. That 0.1% is us and things like us.
Yeah, it's like the average animal. It's like, well, my brother just got ate. Gotta keep moving.
Yeah. It's like a wildebeest will watch its child get torn to shreds, and an hour later will be happily munching grass. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have a facility for this meaning. They don't need to tell a story of my baby was a wonderful calf, and then she was taken by the cheetah. The cheetah gods came and took her in the night. They just like, fuck, man, oh shit, my baby's gone, let's run. Oh, there's some grass. That's most animals, guys. So this religiosity stuff, when you start to understand why humans seek it and need it, it's because of our brain. Our brains got too big and too complex. It was working too well for us. The bigger our brains got, the better our eyes got, the better our ears got, the more successful we were as a species. So we were selected naturally.
And our eyes and our ears, it's an illusion. Our brain translates.
It's a facsimile of what is actually out there. We don't know if the world looks anything like we see it. Not in reality. We are looking at a signal being interpreted by an extraordinarily complex brain. And that complexity creates what we call meaning in philosophy, right? That's where it comes from. It doesn't come from some natural desire or curiosity in us. It comes from the fact that our reasonable faculties, our reasoning centers, got so complex that we started to ask questions that no other animal has ever asked itself in the form of thought. Where do I go when I die? What did my life mean here at the end as I see my life's blood bleeding out of me? What did it mean? Why am I? Why am I? Why are you?
What do I leave my children or the next generation?
What happens when I'm gone?
Yeah.
Where does this go? Is it all darkness? Maybe it isn't. Maybe there's a person there. Maybe there's another life. Maybe there's another cycle, right? You see how this fucking is connected, and it created this incredibly complex, beautiful, artistic species that is killing itself. Killing itself, looking for meaning that isn't there. For some people, meaning is money. They've decided that capitalism is the way, and they ascribe meaning to their accumulation of wealth and goods. And I can't gainsay them any more than they can gainsay me when I say there is no meaning. I happen to think that's a pretty dead way to live your life. But if it brings you some sort of fulfillment, then go with it. I can't deny that humans have found fulfillment of some kind in that. There's way too many ancient mummies buried with fucking $10 million worth of gold. Alright? People thought they took that shit with them for a while. They thought you woke up after your fucking tomb was sealed up and your shit was there and you took it with you to the next life. Well, you can refuse to believe anything you want. That's a beautiful and horrible and frightening thing about what I'm talking about. This aspect of humanity. this philosophical schism in human beings that puts us apart from nature while we're still bound by all the laws of it. No other fucking beast has created a god. No other beast has asked, why am I? In fact, I think the closest it's ever come was an African gray parrot. And his name was like Polly or something. And he said, why Polly? Or no, he asked, why am I gray?
Yeah.
That is the closest to existentialism that an animal has ever gotten in the history of history. Other than us. Like even gorillas, like they taught Amy the gorilla to speak rudimentary sign language. Amy the gorilla never said, why is Amy? Why is Earth? Where is Earth? Never asked an existential question. It was all, Amy, love you. Amy, want snack. Amy, love you. Amy, sad. Amy, mad. Never an existential question. Not one time. Where did your brain come from? A lump of cells that existed in similar biological forms to mine for fucking like billions of years. Hundreds and hundreds of millions of years in my lineage. It is an incredibly specially developed organ that it took millions and millions and millions of years of slow natural selection to develop. Aw, damn, that sucks. I liked talking to you. Oh. Because I don't believe in God or something, you can't talk to me? Why is that, man? I don't care what you believe in. I'll still talk to you. Oh, Rosa. Yeah, stop talking to people in the chat then. Now I've got to admonish you, and I got to do this every fucking chat now. Don't talk back and forth to other people in the chat because it's confusing for me. I rely on the chat, and I really try and answer as many of you guys as I can. Opinion on Taoism, I don't really know enough. I think these advanced telescopes will discover signs of alien life in our lifetimes. I think that we've already kind of reached that point. I'm pretty sure that microbiology was found on Mars that is separate from Earth biology. Very, very rudimentary single-celled organisms, or the evidence of them. So we've already discovered life on another planet. We already know that the principles of life apply, not just on Earth. For a long time, Mars looked just like Earth. It had oceans. It had a, not quite, no, I don't believe that's true. I'm pretty sure that this was about 8 or 9 years ago. They discovered clear evidence of single-celled organisms and their existence on Mars. It might still be like questionable, but I think they're pretty sure. We're talking about very rudimentary monocellular life. What are your thoughts on Jews? Can you give me a more specific question? I don't know, like Jews as a conglomerate of people? I don't know, man. Like the Jews that I've known have been pretty fucking cool people, by and large. I knew one guy that was Jewish, that he was a crazy guy. His name was Alex. He was a solipsist, like a true solipsist. You know, ethnically Jewish guy, but he believed that nobody existed but him. And genuinely lived his life that way. He was a very strange duck. I don't know, man. I think of Jews the same way I think of everybody else. I think they're human beings. I think they're my brothers and sisters on this fucking horrible, blighted, dying planet. And my heart goes out to them. No, they think there's a good possibility because of the water that did exist, but they haven't actually found life. Well, I'll take your word for it right now. I'm pretty sure I read a whole fucking descriptor of certain fucking rock formations and like sedimentary fucking samples that show clear evidence of active soil, which would have required like monocellular life to. So maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that that's the case. You prove your hypothesis, put it to rest with a quantifiable question. Yeah, sure. Fair enough. Yeah, I'd definitely like to just go. I'd like to go to the, like, out to the moon just to get that picture of Earth, you know? That distant look at Earth, I think, would be like, everybody that's ever gotten it has said that it's like life changing and perspective changing. Your life is never the same. You never look at anything the same again. I kind of think that would be cool to get. It'd be cool to have that. I want to go to Mars, man. Do you, though? I don't want to go to Mars, man. That looks like... Did you see what happened to Arnold Schwarzenegger when he like went outside on Mars, dude? His eyeballs popped out. Anyway, I gotta go, man. My butt hurts from